Okay, welcome back everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that article. So now maybe we know a little bit more about Gundam figurines. So the article starts off giving an example of a unruly member of their family. And she gave the example of her young cousin making a bomb threat in an American airport, which I imagine is probably one of the worst ideas you could possibly have. And so explaining about all the trouble that her little cousin got her into. And so then it moves on to talk about another unruly child that has caused a big problem for someone who is presumed to be in Japan. So he and his family needed to go to a funeral and probably in a rather large misjudgment, left their young child at home. So the younger cousin of the man in question. And when he returned home, he found that the child had destroyed all of his most prized possessions, his Gundam figurines. And so if you are someone or you know someone that collects anime figurines or those really high quality figurines from Japan, you know how expensive they are. But it turns out that this person or the father of the child did not realize the value of these toys, which he thought they were, and offered to compensate him just $400 for the figurines. But depending on the figurine itself, just one could be upwards of that price. And so understandably, the man that is mentioned in the article was extremely upset. And so kind of his uncle at that point later realized the problem, offered to compensate him more money. And now the child is in big trouble.
I can imagine.
Understandably, this child has had his allowance taken away, possibly for the rest of his childhood, depending on how much value he destroyed. And so it's opened up a question of whether these children need to be more kind of monitored and made sure that they're being taken care of and not destroying things and making sure that they don't say bad words in airports.
Oh, right.
So my first question for you today is, in your family, do you have any problematic family members like those mentioned in the article?
I mean, no, not like that. I haven't had that. Like, yes, younger relatives, if, they can be unruly.
Right.
When, let's say, during Christmas, when we're passing out the presents and one gets more than the other and they throw a fit, temper tantrums, but nothing like that, luckily. Yeah. How about your?
I have a very big family. Both of my parents have quite a few brothers and sisters, so I have lots of cousins, and for the most part, we're all very well behaved.
Oh, that's good.
I remember one of my cousins is definitely a practical joker, and my memories of him when I was a child is that he was always trying to prank me, but never in a dangerous or
or expensive.
Yeah, right, dangerous or expensive way. So I think for the most part, it was okay. So if you were the cousin's parent of this little boy, what do you think you would have done? How would you have handled the situation?
I would have left the country. I cannot repay you. I just leave the country, change my name.
Are you taking the child with you? Or?
No, I'm leaving the child. They can pay off their debt themselves.
Oh my goodness.
I can't even fathom the idea of that. I know that collector's items can be very expensive, and I don't even spend that kind of money and if I had to repay a debt that my offspring incurred, I don't know. I really don't know how.
Definitely a difficult situation. I'm not sure what I would have done, but definitely that allowance is never getting given to the child until they're at least 16. They need to repay their debts. Okay, so have a think about what you would have done in this situation. There's some vocabulary that we want you to try to use. So take a look at the vocabulary and we will see you next time. Bye.
Unscathed.
Unscathed.
For brevity.
For brevity.
Handle.
Handle.
Passing.
Passing.
Paltry.
Poultry.